Welcome back. And if you stayed with this podcast through season 1, thank you. Seriously. Season 1 was about clearing illusions. Season 2 is different. Season 2 is about action without delusion. So, to start this season properly, we need to talk about something that makes people uncomfortable. But it is also something that sets you free. Most business ideas are useless, and that's normal. This episode isn't here to insult creativity. It's here to remove unnecessary pressure before you even begin because a lot of people are stuck, not because they are lazy, but because they think they need the one perfect idea. You you need an idea you can test. All right, let's get in. Here is why people overvalue ideas. Most people think ideas are rare, like unicorn rare. You've heard it. I finally got a business idea. I don't want anyone to steal it. I need to protect it. And I get it. When you've been blank for months and suddenly something clicks, it feels like gold. But here's the truth, ideas are common, execution is rare. And the reason your ideas feel special isn't because it's objectively special, it's because you've already emotionally invested in it. You imagine the life that comes with it, success, recognition, freedom, quitting your job, proving everyone wrong. So the idea becomes a fantasy container, a little box you pour your dreams into. And that's where it gets dangerous. Because once an idea becomes your dream, learning feels like a threat. You start protecting the idea instead of testing it. Now let's clarify something really important. An idea is a guess, not a plan. Every business idea is basically a guess about a few things. A guess about the problem, a guess about the customer, a guess about the solution, a guess about pricing, a guess about timing. And the problem isn't that ideas are guesses. That's fine. That's normal. The problem is when people treat guesses like facts. That's when things get expensive. They start building, they spend money, they announce it, they make logos, they print cards, they register the company, they emotionally commit. And then when reality doesn't agree, they are not just disappointed, they are offended because it's not just the idea failed, it's I failed. And I want you to avoid that trap because business punishes certainty without proof, not because the market is cruel, but because the market is practical. So, why do most ideas fail quickly? Not because you are dumb, not because you are cursed, not because you don't have what it takes. Most ideas fail for boring reasons, simple reasons, normal reasons. The problem isn't painful enough, the customer isn't clear, the timing is wrong, the solution is unnecessary, or the solution is nice but not pay money nice. And people underestimate how brutal that last point is because someone saying wow that's cool is not validation, someone paying is validation. Now when an idea fails people take it personally, but the market isn't personal, the market is like a filter. It doesn't hate your idea, it just doesn't choose it. And that's the part that hurts if you thought your idea was supposed to be the one. Now, quick correction because I am being very specific with language here. When I say useless, I don't mean worthless. I'm not saying your idea has no value. I'm saying most ideas are not viable as businesses, not sellable, not sustainable, not scalable, not profitable, not yet. But a useless business idea can still be incredibly valuable as data because it teaches you. It teaches you how people respond. It teaches you which assumptions were wrong. It teaches you what to build. And that's real progress. And only if you test it. If you don't test it, it stays a fantasy, and fantasies feels good, but it doesn't pay you. Here is the bigger danger, falling in love with your idea. This is where people lose months or years because once you fall in love with your idea, you become blind. You stop listening, you start defending, You turn feedback into a debate. You start explaining instead of learning. And rejection starts feeling unfair. You know what healthy founders do? They don't protect idea. They stress test them. They ask questions like, where is this weak? How can this fail fast? What would make this a definitive no? And that mindset saves time, it saves money, and honestly, it saves ego. Because you are not trying to prove you are a genius, you are trying to find what's true. So, here's a better way to think about ideas. Instead of asking, is this a good idea? Ask, what assumptions am I making? How can I test this cheaply? What would prove this wrong? Because ideas aren't precious, they are raw materials. Your job isn't to believe them, your job is to challenge them. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's actually freeing. Because if your idea survives testing, now you have something. And if it doesn't, good. You just saved yourself months of building something no one wanted. And this should relieve you. Seriously, this perspective removes pressure. You no longer need the perfect idea. You don't need the best idea. You don't need the original idea. You just need a testable idea, a small experiment, a honest feedback. Progress starts when ego steps aside. And if you are listening to this right now thinking, so my idea must be useless, good. That means you are thinking like a builder now, not a dreamer. Because builders test and dreamers protect. Alright, let's warp this up. In the next episode, we are going one step deeper. Problem first, business second. And we'll talk about what a problem actually is, why solving imaginary problems fail, and how to tell the difference before you waste time. Season 2 isn't about dreaming bigger, it's about not wasting time. Thanks for listening. See you in the next episode.